instruments. I should also mention that on the video, you'll see, if you Google it, there is someone playing the piano that sounds like a heartbeat. I'm not going to do that today because that's just not my gift in terms of music, but here we go. Love poem for poetry. If I stare at them long enough, I can feel the rhythm in your eyes and it makes my soul start dancing. Dancing in random patterns and rhythmic circles that seem to spell out letters, and these letters turn into words, and these words turn into sentences, and these sentences turn into poems, and these poems turn into songs. Songs I like to sing in the shower. I like to watch the words go over on the mirror and evaporate in the steam, I don't know, and I go over and I draw a heart in them, and it makes me feel like we've just made love. And I take your words and I put them into my skin, get them deep into my pores, only to go out into the hot sun where I start to sweat you. Every single word of you begins to trickle down my body, and I become a walking dictionary with only definitions of you. When people look at me, they see you written all over my face, but they don't manage to see the word mine that trickled down to my private parts. And when I'm outside, I inhale your words and I exhale them into the wind, and they create white sentences inside of a blue sky. Some people call them clouds. It's funny trying to watch y'all figure them out, often wondering what those pictures and those symbols could be. But what you don't realize is you're trying to decipher the language of a communication that existed before colonization. We spoke through shadow kisses as our silhouettes walked along the Serengeti. We sipped on herbal teas while studying the art of a Tanzanian sunset. We laid in the shade drinking lemonade while writing Swahili poetry. The kind of poetry that I would recite to you on the day of our commitment just so that our ancestors knew that I could love you in the right way. And so now I sit across from you staring at your eyes, and the history of what we got is written on every single strand of your lashes. And when you blink, it's like our pages are turning. Turning like the pages in the books of some of my dreams. And love, one time I wrote a dream about you and I read it in my sleep. I kneeled on the floor, I closed my eyes, I clasped my hands, and I spoke out loud thoughts of you and I sleeping together. Pieces of you, I placed you inside my pen, and I wrote you all over the sheets of our bed, and then I laid in them, and I engulfed myself in the poetry of us. The words, y'all, seep through the sheets and into my skin, and I absorbed our words and turned our words into metaphors, and our metaphors into daydreams, and daydreams into nightmares, nightmares while I'm running. You are chasing, and I'm falling, and you are catching while gravity is pulling, yet we are disappearing before we even hit the ground. And then I wake up to find myself cuddling up inside the letters of us, curving inside the curves of our words and smelling the scents made by our sounds. And I wish I didn't have to write this about you. But poetry commands that I do. Since I can't connect to you, this is the closest way that I can have you. And sometimes I feel like I'm inside you when my pen grinds up on this paper. And I gotta remember to write at a slow and a very steady pace. Keep my words long, big, and deep, but try not to make them come too fast. But it feels so damn good to dot your I's and cross your T's. Poem, I don't know how long you might last. Maybe 1, 2, more 3 more paragraphs. And I have to remember to keep a cap on my pen just to prevent my ink from spilling, because the next time I write about you, you might wind up pregnant with twins. And if you do, what is called a baby girl simile and baby boy metaphor, I wish I didn't have to write this about you anymore. But poetry commands that I do. So every night I would write, there we go. And every night I would dream. And every night I would wake up wishing it was your eyes instead of these words. And that it was your lips instead of these verbs. And that I could kiss you and swirl my words around in your mouth and have you chew on my sentences so you can know what I'm thinking just by tasting my prose. And since I can't have you realistically, I can always have you poetically. Boom.